Hello, this is Dr. David Oster, and this is a patient of mine who sustained a fracture dislocation of his shoulder while traveling. This patient had a seizure, and during that seizure with the muscle contractions, the shoulder dislocated as well as fractured. So this patient required surgical management for this problem. So here are his radiographs on the left-hand side. This is a front view of the shoulder, and it shows the ball of the shoulder to be dislocated, which is on the right-hand side, and the shaft of the humerus that goes from the shoulder down to the elbow is on the left-hand side, and the fracture is seen there between these two pieces. So this is a two-part fracture of his shoulder. Looking at the CT scan, this is a cross-sectional view. The head is highlighted while the socket and the shaft have arrows pointed to them. So the idea is to get the head of the shoulder back into the socket. So this needs to be reduced back into the socket, and then the shaft needs to be aligned with the head, and these two pieces need to be surgically fixed. And this is accomplished with surgical management. An incision is made over those areas. The head is reduced back into the socket, and then the fracture is reduced and held into place and then fixed with a plate and screws that go through the plate to hold the fracture in position while the fracture heals. And these are the postoperative radiographs. It shows the fracture reduced, the head back into the socket, and the plate with multiple screws holding the fracture in the proper position. So postoperatively, this patient was placed in a sling and gradually allowed to start pendulum exercises of the shoulder, basically dangling it and rotating it. And then once the fracture started to heal, at about 4 weeks or so, the patient was allowed to start doing active range of motion. Once the patient regained full range of motion, he was allowed to go back to full activities. So this is a presentation on a patient who sustained a shoulder fracture dislocation that was treated with surgical management by Dr. David Oster. If you'd like to look at other text or video, please visit my website, www.davidostermd.com. For an appointment or evaluation, 303-214-4500.